I do believe like that changing spaces and including art and more nature elements, plants, lighting, more natural lighting. I think all of these things from a psychological standpoint are very, very healing and comforting and make us feel like safe and at peace. Because, like, what I've learned from psychology is that our environments shape us.
Good morning,
It's so nice
Hannah.
to meet you.
It's lovely to meet you too. So I was so interested well, I read what you were doing and so interested in that you have a background in psychology, I read, and that you also studying neuroscience.
Yes.
Mm. And tell me, and
So,
yeah, and you applying this to also interior design.
yes. So, I kind of just recently found that I can use like my knowledge in psychology and other areas and apply it to my art and like combine it. And so, yeah, I just recently kind of stepped into this world and oh my God, it's so much fun.
Really? So, interior
Yeah.
design, is that what you initially studied?
No. So I initially studied psychology and I am actually graduating this December with a degree in psychology. And so just along the way, I have been like just creating art, creating different things and then I've just tied it into like all the jobs I've had. And one of them was managing property. And so just transforming the spaces and designing them and making them more beautiful. I was like, oh my God, this is my passion. This is so much fun. So it's
Mm.
kind of just like, I don't know if I'd call it interior design because I don't have like a degree or any formal training in interior design. It's more like an intuition, you know?
Okay, yeah. So, um, you exactly what do you do? So you when you find property or when you have an interior space, you use psychology or what you know of psychology to sort of enhance the space. So thinking, well, what is the starting point for you to think, what are people going to do in this space?
Well, I think what starts me on this process of when I find a new space is first of all, I connect with the people and I get really curious about their stories, what makes them like feel happy and feel joy and like the aliveness feeling, like what is special to them. And I go into certain colors that they feel safe around. I go into like certain lighting, like do they like it dark and moody or do they like it light and bright? What makes them feel the most safe? Um, and and then throughout like creating artwork. So I create artwork for specific situations and people. I will get their stories and incorporate that into the artwork and have it like change based off the lighting around and um, have it a piece that is one of a kind and unique to them and their story. And it's so beautiful because like I don't know, there was a situation where one of my clients, he was about to retire and he was telling me about his dreams, for example. And his walls were all bare and his house was just kind of just very empty. And so I took what his future dreams were and I just like transformed his space into like help inspire him to pursue his future dreams. So like sailboats, for example, that's what he wanted to be, like a captain, like retired and become a captain. And I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna like transform the space into something that will inspire him every time he walks in and like connect him to his dreams. So I guess that's an example of kind of what I do.
That's so lovely because haven't we been living in spaces just, sort of boring spaces that's not necessarily inspirational. And I think also because of our lifestyle in the sense that or our way of living of going to work, coming back home, and it needs to be functional or um, you know, the bedroom is not always so well decorated or well lit, or so we don't think about these things always. And here you are now really thinking, okay, so now putting these things together, because I don't think people know, necessarily do that when it's your own home or when it's your own space.
Yeah. You don't really psychoanalyze yourself and think of like, what are my most basic needs that I need met? What are things that will inspire me? Like, you don't really, it's hard to do that to yourself, but it's like easy for me to come in and just be like, ask questions, get the story, like connect with the person and really understand what makes them tick, and then change their space based off what they've told me.
And are people open to do that, or are they sometimes a little bit scared?
My method is very gentle and like I build a connection with my clients first. Um, so I'd say I don't do it instantly. It's something that takes a very long time, months and a very long time. I'm sure there's people out there that can do it quickly and very efficiently, but I enjoy the process of building a relationship with my clients, and like I would consider these people now my lifelong friends. I'm always gonna
Yeah.
like stay
Mm.
connected with them, and because the things I've created for them to transform their space are so personal, and I've poured so much effort and love and just passion into these pieces that will inspire them. So it's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like, yeah, it's kind of a very long process.
Mm. But is it also,
So yeah,
do you think there's some sort of therapy in us, if you look at a psychological way to it, that it can be part of psychological healing, that if you're in a space where it's, where you feel maybe more comfortable, or where colors stimulate certain reactions or certain thought process, do you think that we should focus more on the psychology behind, say, interior than just merely the fact that it's, a sofa that fits in the room?
I 100% agree with you. I do believe like that changing spaces and including art and more nature elements, plants, lighting, more natural lighting. I think all of these things from a psychological standpoint are very, very healing and comforting and make us feel like safe and at peace. Because, like, what I've learned from psychology is that our environments shape us. So, like, all the stress around us, all the everything happening, all our situations and relationships, they really do affect us. And so our spaces affect us too. And also, I'm learning that like beauty can rewire our brain. And so I kind of view like incorporating beauty as like a form of medicine and therapy. Yeah. So I really agree with you. Yeah. On that aspect.
Wonder if it's not also something that we should keep in mind in workspaces as well. For people who spend so much time in the office or so much time in, the place where they work.
Absolutely. I think every environment we find ourselves in, we should like. I follow so many researchers that are doing research on this, and they're proving like they're getting solid evidence. Okay, I know you shouldn't say proving in science, but they're getting solid evidence that supports that it is so important. We're more productive, we're more creative, we're more efficient if our environments support us on a psychological, neurological level.
And I
So
think
that
also,
excites me.
yeah, but I think also that because I'm also thinking a lot about the value of art and the value of, how society value artists, and that if we start focusing on the say the psychological value and advantages of having art, say I'm talking about say art pieces in the house, but it can be also sound, it can be also music, it can be also the furniture, the style and the color of the furniture, that if we are more aware of how important that is and how that shape the mind, that we will also be more appreciative of what art really is.
And I think it'll also help us be more intentional of our surroundings and how we create our surroundings. Cause like, I wish this was just like more common knowledge because like I can't go into everyone's home. And I know there's other people out there, interior designers, they can't go into everyone's home and do this. Like, I feel like it would be so important if people just understood how much our environments really influence us psychologically. Yeah. And it's so important to be like intentional with our surroundings.
And so you are now incorporating the psychology part to it. Are you going to, is this what you're heading to? So it will be, when you graduate, it will be how you apply psychology.
Yes, this is how I hope to apply psychology. So I am looking to further my degree, like further my education and really go down the rabbit hole of like um neuroaesthetics in particular, interior design and all everything that has to do with that. So I'm kind of curious where that will lead me into applying my psychology degree. I really don't know yet, but I'm curious where it's going to lead me. I'm really open. I'm open to it. Like, I'm not really stuck in one aspect. This is just what I'm doing right now.
And how important do you see art in education? Where children from a young age also, get the opportunity to pursue an art form or to be stimulated by art or have art in their environment or in schools, that music is more important part of the education system.
I think just as much as we put an emphasis on eating healthy, staying active, doing sports, I think children art should be viewed as like keeping the mind healthy, like keeping us mentally at a good balance and just at a good it'll be something that can help us like grow mentally and also when we face circumstances just as sports can help people build resilience and overcome hard things they're going through in their personal life while they go into their sports. It helps them. I don't know how I want to say this. Like, it helps them overcome things. I think we should view art as just as necessary as any other aspect we do to keep ourselves healthy and to keep ourselves resilient. I think that's how important I view it. Like, it should be absolutely like just core curriculum, period.
Yeah.
Creativity, like tapping into our creativity because it's music. It's art is so many things. It's not just painting. I mean, that might bore some people to death, but then they might feel alive when they start playing an instrument or yeah, creating some form. Yeah.
But
Dancing. Mhm.
where did your art journey start? When did you started creating?
I'm going to disappoint you because I don't actually have a memory of the first time I ever started
Oh, really?
creating. However, I do know one thing. My older sister, she was like always like this presence in my life that supported me and encouraged me and inspired me. Like I would kind of just like copy her because she was very artistic. And then she would always like praise me on my abilities. And so, of course, that was just like very good. She was a perfect model for me to follow. And she was the first person to like mirror back that what I was creating actually mattered and that it was important. And I think she really planted a seed in me that like I never even realized until way later, until recently. Like the past 5 to 10 years, I didn't realize it until just recently. So yeah. Um, so yeah, that's kind of how I first started creating was because of like my sister's influence. She said like you need to take it seriously. And I was like, no, I don't want to. It's my hobby. And she's like, you need to like figure out how to make this like a business, like not a business, figure out how to make this a way to make a living. And I'm like, I was so resistant to it because I don't just want to like paint and mass produce and sell. Like that is not my passion at all. And so I just kind of had what she said in the back of my mind. And when I started this job as a property manager, and I realized I had a lot of influence, and people were asking me questions like on how to design their spaces. And I was like, I'm not an interior design. Please hire this person. I realized, well, I can step in and I can transform spaces with what I know from psychology and some neuroscience. Like, I know how the brain works and functions and how we perceive things. So, yeah. Um, that's what my sister told me. And then I've just now started like incorporating it into a way that is meaningful to me and doesn't feel like I'm like losing my passion and turning it into just something that makes money. It's just, you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. But do you mostly paint?
I do. And just recently I'm getting into music again. So, but it's mainly painting.
Mm.
Yeah, creating artworks, and I also do like sewing and like different types of like just different types of creating for people when they ask me to do something like, hey, can you do this? So yeah, it's
Are you
I
daring?
also view cooking.
Oh, really?
Sorry.
No,
I
no,
also view like cooking as an art form. So I cook a
absolutely.
lot for people. Like I'm technically a private chef, and I view that as like my form of art, creating beautiful pieces of like food and the aroma and the yeah, everything.
I do believe cooking and baking, I think they're all forms of art. And I realized over lockdown how many artists started cooking and baking and put the pictures onto Instagram. And then I realized it is a form of creating
Yes.
because, even if you're baking, you think, well, I'm taking flour and egg and milk and, sugar, and you create something from it. It's really so,
Something delicious.
yeah. So that's also part of what you do.
Yeah, so it's not just art. When you ask me like, is it mainly art? Like just like sorry, painting. I'll be
Yeah,
more
yeah.
specific. Is it mainly painting? Painting is huge, but like I feel like I don't restrict myself to just one art form. I am trying to like just create as a way of life, just always, no matter what I'm doing.
But
Writing articles for people. Yeah,
wow.
everything.
Mm. But are you, how can I put it? It's daring in the sense that you look at something and you think, hey, I can do it. Or does it take you time to think, or is there something that you think in a creative sense that you wonder, can I do it? Should I do it? Am I not qualified to do it? Or are you just that type of person who think, okay, I can sew, so I might be able to do this?
Not really. I am
Oh, really?
my personality is very different. So I have sewed from a young age, like the age of like 7, 8, maybe. I have cooked from even a younger age. My mom was like very encouraging and making sure like we were in the kitchen learning how to cook, even my brothers. Um, and so I have had a lifelong basis of creating in different forms. And then my mom was also very influential in making sure I like write creatively. And then my sister was influential in helping me paint. So I feel like I've had years and years of just like trying all these different forms. And so it doesn't daunt me that I don't have talent. I feel like I know the basics, and I feel like now it's just time to perfect them and
Yeah.
master them. Does that make sense? Like really understand them. Like now I'm like going down the rabbit holes of learn. I'm reading books on how to like create patterns and do this and do that. And I'm reading a lot and listening to a lot of podcasts on like how to write in different forms. I'm also, of course, YouTube, watching a ton of YouTube videos on how to like create beautiful dishes that are visually pleasing and how to plate. So I'm just like taking all these skills that I have and just like adding to them and just kind of perfecting them. Because I view like everything we do in life as like an art form, really, from when we wake up in the morning till when we go to bed. Like I live and breathe it.
Wow, that's so true. That's really true. And I also believe that we don't even realize it, but the chair that I sit on now was, even though it's just a basic design, it is still a design. It was still somebody's idea and somebody's thought process.
Yeah. I believe like if we slow down and just start living life with intention, it just becomes more beautiful. And so that's really my passion is just to like every moment be super intentional with how I interact with others, how I create more beauty in the world, and how I make my life more beautiful.
What inspires you?
I knew you were going to ask me that. I had a feeling I was like, that's what inspires me, and I don't know what to say.
Oh, really?
I get inspired by the most random things.
Mm.
Most recently, I visited a couple. They wanted me to create a painting for them. And I got so inspired by their story. I just kept asking them questions. How did you guys meet? Like, where was it? And like, what day was it? And they showed me the kind of painting they wanted. It was abstract. And I just ran away with it. And I was like, can I incorporate like things from your story and make it super, super personal to you? And then they just lit up and they were so excited. Um, so I get inspired by other people's stories. I
Yeah.
really do.
Mm.
And just, I think everyone becomes my muse at some point.
But I agree. I also get inspired by other people's stories. Not inspired to the point that I can create an artwork, but I do understand what you mean. Sometimes somebody tells you something, or just part of their life story is like, wow, okay, so um, it's in yeah, inspires me in different ways. Then also,
Yeah.
mm.
I also do get a little obsessed with like currently my obsession has been neurology and clouds. So maybe I'm inspired by the sky or maybe I'm inspired by the brain. I don't know. But like I've been drawing lots of neurons and like made a whole neuroanatomy series. And then I just paint clouds just all the time. Like I don't know, like I can't help myself. So maybe I'm inspired by different things too, but I feel like the main thing that makes me feel the most excited is yeah, definitely people, their
Okay.
stories. Yeah.
Mm. So you can see also evolution in your work in the sense that certain times, certain things happen in your work?
Yes, I take the evolution of my work very seriously, like documenting it and then watching myself grow. It is it is fascinating. I journal a lot so I can like see my mind growing too as I come to like conclusions and create different things. That's probably the most fun is like I've journaled from the age of like when I finally learned how to write. I have tons of journals and it's just interesting to see my mind as I'm like I've kept a lot of my original things, see the evolution of how my mind has developed and also see the evolution of my art. And like, I don't know, it's not very fast, which kind of annoys me sometimes. But you know, evolution is not fast.
No, no, definitely not.
It takes a very long time to evolve.
Yeah. I I just
Yeah.
yesterday I had a conversation with somebody where I also say I sometimes get frustrated because I have these dreams and ideas and it almost feels as if it's so slow in happening. And but then when you start looking back at where you started, then you kind of think, so, whoa, okay, so I'm here now, and you realize all these things had to
So
come
far.
before you could be here.
And also life experiences are so important for shaping how you go about creating. I think honestly, my life experiences have been the most important and have given my work so much more value and meaning to me. Um, it's also made me more passionate.
So are you well, I ask, are you inquisitive? I can sort of sense that and I sort of understand from what you're talking, you are inquisitive, you want to know more.
I think there's this story of I don't know who it was, one of the ancient philosophers. He someone came up to him and was like, "Teach me everything you know." I think it was like Aristotle or one of those guys. And the teacher started just walking out into the water and so the person wanting him to teach him followed him, the student followed him, and he's like, please teach me everything you know, I'll follow you everywhere you go. And um he just got deep enough till they're in their heads. Do you know the story? And then he just sunk his head underwater and just held him underwater. And the students literally like, okay, holding his breath. And then he literally starts drowning. He cannot hold his breath any longer. And the teacher is just still holding his head underwater. And he he starts fighting at the end for his life and starts punching and kicking and just trying to get out from under the water. And when he finally wins and gets out, and the teacher, he's like, why were you trying to drown me? And the teacher is like, you have to want knowledge and you have to be as curious about life and knowledge and as desperate for knowledge as you are when you're drowning. Like, it's so important. And I feel like that on a day-to-day basis of like, I don't know anything. I'm drowning. Like I'm drowning in boredom. I have to know more. So yeah, that's kind of like that's how I feel on a day-to-day basis of just like desperately searching for answers and desperately like fighting for more information that
Well,
resonates
I
and
love that you,
challenges me. And
yeah,
yeah.
I love that you have this way of using your psychology, using the knowledge, and then also creating and creating spaces. I think this is so wonderful because I think it's so I can go into a space and sense things. So I think we are inherently sensitive to space and sensitive to what happen in spaces. So great that you use your psychology to create that.
Yeah, thank you. I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to connect everything. So it's a fun process.
But what are your wishes for the future, or what is the dream?
The dream is to never stop learning, which I don't think I will. I know I won't. The dream is to always keep evolving. And I don't have like a perfect little picture because I know life is life. And I'm just kind of like along for the ride. And I'm pursuing my passions. And I just know that they're going to take me somewhere amazing. I don't know what doors are going to open up in the future. I can't predict the future. So I'm just like focusing really hard on the present and trusting that my future will be amazing and always be exciting. So yeah, I don't have like a perfect picture of what I want to do in the future. I just know I want to keep doing what I'm doing right now, and I just want to evolve and develop myself even more.
And I think that's wonderful because it's because you're allowing then, allowing things to happen and to come on your way, and so you'll be much more open. I think we're much more open if we don't have that definite thing that we see, but that we know that things happen the way it should.
Yeah. I know I do have like dreams of like getting a PhD in this, or
Yeah.
I do want to like, okay. I do have like a definite dream. I guess I kind of just thought of it now. I want to be able to teach others. I think that's my end goal. So when I get to a certain age, like maybe retirement in my 50s, 40s, I don't know. I want to retire early. I want to start teaching others how to just, I don't know if I want to teach them psychology or neuroscience or what. Maybe whatever I get my PhD in, I'll start teaching that. So yeah, that's kind of like a goal I want to check. But
yeah, that's wonderful because it's then giving back. Hannah, but you are such a lovely person. It is so lovely to talk to you. It was great intuition for me to write to you and ask you to do the interview. I'm very happy that I did that.
Oh, it was such an honor meeting you. I am such a fan of your work.
Oh, really?
I love watching your videos.
I'm so glad.
I do. I know you probably don't. I love watching your videos. I sometimes just like put them on while I'm driving, like a podcast.
Oh, really? That makes me very happy to know.